Hey there, folks. Greg Shepard here, S&A Financial Services. For those of you that don't know me, I specialize in helping folks just like yourself over the country basically just get the most out of your higher ed retirement plan. So today's short clip, I'm going to share with you a strategy I implemented for three of my clients in the last few months. Okay, actually, the original, it was kind of a feel-good moment. The catalyst for this video was now a client. She wasn't a client at the time. Listen to one of my podcasts about a strategy I talked about, and I'll throw a link down below on the strategy. But she reached out to me and asked me if the strategy she was thinking about was good. And so we just had a back and forth, and she became a client. And so some of you out there are getting something out of this, so I do appreciate that. So, also, this right here is not a strategy that I'm telling you to do. Okay, let's make sure we're clear on that. It's not investment advice. This is something for you to get those juices up there flowing. Start thinking about things surrounding your TIAA CREF accounts, strategies that you probably don't know about. Start asking questions. Okay, you know the old adage, you don't know what you don't know. Okay, that's enough of that. So let me get into it. Let me share with you let's go with two scenarios of late that I've implemented for clients. So number one, now let me preface this again, sorry. This is only going to work obviously for those that have TIAA CREF accounts, but old accounts, okay, ex-employer accounts that are stagnant, you're not contributing to, all right? I think everybody understands what that is. Also, liquid. So those liquid accounts, if you don't know what that means, by all means contact me and I'll fill you in on what I'm talking about. So those mandatory accounts where the employer is putting money in, again, old accounts, the employer had been putting money in, may not be the best idea, but certainly contact me. Okay, I've done this for the liquid accounts where you, the employee, have put in 100% of those contributions. So here we go. The first one contacted me, and we put together a strategy. I'll spare you the details, but for that particular account, okay, she's a conservative investor, and I think this bodes well for those that are conservative or maybe synonymous here, kind of hesitant about the stock market, if you want to put it that way, especially now. This is March of 2023. She was a conservative investor. She's been told that she should take that old liquid her contributions, TIAA CREF account, and roll that over to an IRA, which is typically an advisable thing to do, assuming you know what you're doing. And this is the one that came to me, and she said, well, would it make, since I'm a conservative investor and I listen to your podcast and watch your videos, the TIAA Traditional investment inside the liquid account has an over 5% interest rate. That's great for me as the investor. Why can't I just flip everything I have into that account? Now, of note here, she already had some in TIAA Traditional, which was liquid. Okay, this is old contract though. Okay, she was getting, I can't recall exactly, but less than 4% on the average interest rate credit. Okay, if you don't know what that means, contact me and I'll let you know, or you can call TIAA CREF and they'll give you an idea of what that is. So what we did is we implemented the 120-day, I call it the reinvestment strategy, where she took money out of that liquid TIAA Traditional, sat it in money market for 120 days, then reinvested back into the higher rates. Okay. And also the monies that were not in TIAA Traditional, so CREF stuff, we dumped all that new money into TIAA Traditional as well. Okay, liquid. And she got that higher rate. And she's just letting that account chill out. Okay, just earning 5 whatever percent. I think it's 5.25% for her contract in perpetuity until sometime down the road, maybe she wants to roll over to an IRA or start taking RMDs. She's under that age. But it worked out perfect for her. So with these high rates that we're experiencing and most everything fixed, there are strategies that wouldn't be advisable maybe a year, 2 years ago for sure. Okay, so make sure you know all your have everything lined up before you enact anything that might be irrevocable. Now the second lady, okay, so she very similar. I won't spend much time on this, but she had nothing in TIAA Traditional. Okay, again, she wasn't necessarily a conservative investor, but she was hesitant for whatever reason, to each their own, about the stock market and the bond market for that matter, because last year was terrible for the bond market. she had a good chunk of money in this old contract. And so she did basically the same thing. She took everything. Remember, she didn't have anything in TIAA Traditional. She had everything in the bond and stocks, equity positions that TIAA CREF afforded her in her plan. And we just flipped everything into that TIAA Traditional. Again, I think she had the same type of contract where she got 5.25%, and the same theory applies in perpetuity. She's just going to chill out, hang out in that, I believe it was a GSRA TIAA Traditional, getting that, I believe, 5.25%. And maybe down the road, when she's more comfortable, we can roll that over to an IRA, or just let it hang out there. And that's not all of her accounts. Now, let me make sure everybody knows that. Both of these scenarios, this is not all of their money. This is a portion of their money. Okay, I can certainly elaborate more on that on an individual basis. So hopefully this helps you out. And I'll throw down some links, especially on that 120-day reinvestment rule. I know TIA calls it something different, but that's what I call it. All right, folks, this is Greg Shepard with S&A Financial Services. Have a good one. Bye-bye.